We got some breaking news this weekend. We're hearing that BRIC nations, which consists of countries like China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, are considering using Bitcoin for cross-border transactions. How accurate is that? All right, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. I don't follow this account, this whale chart account. It's actually a BSV shill account that pretends that it's not, but it really is. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. So this got put out on June 24th, breaking BRICS considering using Bitcoin for cross-border transactions. And fellow Bitcoiner John Osterman comes in and goes, "Sources, please." And of course, I had to go digging because I don't trust anything that Whale Chart ever posts. And I found these two articles, but there's no actual mention of a quote from any leader. Okay, it all seems to be supposition. Anyways, let's dive into both of those articles and let's take a closer look. All right, so the first one that I found was out of this blockzite.com. So here we go. BRICS Alliance considers Bitcoin as an alternative to the US dollar. BRICS, the powerful group of the world's leading emerging market economies, may be considering adopting BTC as an alternative to the USD. BRICS had announced that they plan to issue a new global reserve currency. Bitcoin is a good pick for the BRICS Alliance because of a couple of reasons. Holding BTC as a reserve currency may offer diversification away from the USD. The blockchain technology that backs Bitcoin is considered a more efficient financial system. For emerging economies to outdo the old powers, new and efficient ways of doing business will come in handy. No industrial revolution offers a better promise than blockchain. No, it's got nothing to do with blockchain. It's only Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the actual innovation. Guys, slow databases are not an innovation. Our money is corruptible by the people who issue it and by the institutions who essentially handle the rails. We'll try to keep it simple. Bitcoin requires the decentralization specifically so that these entities cannot take control of it. They cannot. That's the difference. Not every single thing out there requires this. Okay? It just doesn't. It doesn't all need it. Really, it's only Bitcoin that needs it. Okay? It really is. Bitcoin already solves that problem. So this bullshit about blockchain, this is just nonsense. Many have theorized, based on the current Financial Times, that the new BRICS currency would be related to cryptocurrency. However, recent developments hint that it might be connected to Bitcoin. I'm going to read that to you guys again. Recent developments hint that it might be connected to Bitcoin. No, I don't actually. And believe me, I want it to be. I do want it to be, but I'm not seeing it. The Central Bank of Russia, for instance, has created special organizations dedicated to mining cryptocurrency. That doesn't mean that they're going to use Bitcoin for cross-border transactions. That doesn't mean that in any way, shape, or form. It is a giant leap to think that that is what is meant. Okay, so here's the other article out of Watcher.guru, BRICS nations to dethrone the US dollar with Bitcoin. All right, so here you go. With the BRICS summit arriving in just a few months, the topic of expansion and an alternative currency will dominate the discussions. Moreover, as the BRICS nations seek expansion as a method to dethrone the US dollar, could Bitcoin represent a viable alternative? Indeed, it does. But nobody in any type of capacity is actually considering using Bitcoin. And believe me, I want them to, but this is just FUD. Following the discussions of expansion, the next vital talking point will be the BRICS currency. Indeed, the bloc has long embraced de-dollarization, eliminating the prevalence of the greenback amidst international settlements between the bloc. Thus, a plan for an alternative trade currency has long been discussed. The plans for an alternative currency are vitally important, mostly due to their incredible potential. Indeed, the member countries have already utilized local currencies to facilitate trade, moving away from the dollar. Alternatively, with rumors of the new currency being pegged to the Chinese yuan, its potential is undeniable. So I just want to point out that doesn't sound like Bitcoin because Bitcoin isn't pegged to the Chinese yuan. Could BRIC nations dethrone the US dollar with Bitcoin? Sure, they could. The idea could actually have some merit. Indeed, it could. Although it would not be a currency developed strictly by the bloc, and so they won't, it is an alternative currency that has no national currency ties. True, and should be a valid point, and should be also a strong point for consideration as a money. Anyways, consequently, it could be utilized by all member states without needing to peg it to a currency, thus inheriting a specific economic circumstance. So we're going to go back with rumors of the new currency being pegged to the Chinese yuan. But we just explained down here that Bitcoin doesn't need to be pegged to any currency, thus inheriting a specific economic circumstance. All right, guys. So look. So this is it's an important point on doing your own research. Don't be afraid to go and dig for what people are saying. Look, as soon as I saw that tweet, the first thing I did was look at which account it came from. And as soon as I saw it was Whale Chart, I know that sounds terrible, but as soon as I saw it was Whale Chart, I went and started to do my own research because I know I can't trust him because he's a BSV shill. Now, of course, the point is that we shouldn't be trusting anyone. You guys shouldn't be trusting me either. You go back and double check that. This is why I put my sources in the videos. So you guys can go and check to see where it is that I'm getting this information from. That's the whole point, right? The whole point is not about me being right. It's about us being accurate, right? And making sure that we understand the situation as it is. You hit the ball where it lies. I feel like that's a golf analogy, and I am not a golfer. Anyways, the point being, guys, is that I didn't see any mention by any person that had any type of important decision-making capabilities indicate that Bitcoin was actually a possibility. So even though I'd like it to be true that it is, I just don't see the evidence. So I'm chalking this up to FUD, really. It's just FUD. I don't see any merit to that tweet that the BRICS nations are going to be choosing Bitcoin. We can't have any heroes. We can't trust anyone. You got to do your own research. All right, guys, that does it for our clip today. If you want to support the show, like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys all tomorrow.